Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, hi, welcome. My name is Zach. I am a makeup artist and medical esthetician based here in Toronto, Canada. And on my channel, I like to share with you everything it is I know and I love about skincare, makeup, and making makeup every day easy. If that sounds interesting, you are in the right place. Today, I have got a handful of some of the new holiday 2021 makeup releases, and I've grabbed a handful of some of the products I have lingering in my collection. Maybe I haven't played with them recently, or I love them and I just haven't talked about them on my channel. So they happen to mostly all be from the drugstore. So we have a mix of things that are quite affordable and things that are a little overpriced. So without further ado, let's get right into this makeup look. So to get started, I'm gonna prime my skin, and to prime my skin, I'm gonna be using this NYX Bear With Me Hydrating Jelly Primer. I like to warm it up between my fingers, a good kind of massage into the skin. And since it's just a hydrating primer, I'm gonna take whatever's left on my neck, just in case, I decide to actually put makeup on my neck for once. Since it's more of like a hydrating, jelly, slightly grippy primer, I want to add a little bit of something to the center panel of my face just to mattify, smooth out texture, because the foundation I want to use today is a little bit more luminous. So I'm going to try the NYX Angel Veil. If you're ever curious to see which products I have used on my channel, which videos or blog posts you can find out about them, they are all on my website under either the skincare library or makeup library. Find the category of product you're interested, scroll through it, find the name. Everything is in alphabetical order because that's how I like things. And then you can stroll over to the far right and find out which post it's in so you can see it in action or to hear opinions on it. I want to add a little bit of hydration to my lips, so I'm going to use this Hermes Rosy Lip Perfector. I have the shade number 49 Rosy Tan. I have no idea if I've talked about this on my channel before. I pre-ordered this before they launched, and okay, you know what, I'm just gonna say it. These are expensive. I believe these are like $96 here in Canada. And if you're looking at me and you're like, did you spend $96 on a lip balm? Yes, I did. Do I regret it? Yes, because I don't really like it. In summary, the Hermes Lip Perfectors, they are more of like a matte tinted lip balm. Hydrating, leaves a little bit of color. They're really, really expensive in my opinion. You can save $96, buy something else you really enjoy, and try out another lip balm that you enjoy more. For me, these are a pass. NYX Born to Glow Naturally Radiant Foundation. I have the shade Light. And I just realized I have a lot of NYX products in today's video. This is not sponsored. I just have a lot of NYX products in my collection I haven't used. To blend out the foundation, I'm going to use this It for Ulta brush. This is the number 106 Airbrush Magic Foundation Brush. So now I'm just going to take a damp beauty sponge and press over that. Here's one layer applied with a brush, blended out with a sponge, so I removed some of the coverage. It looks really, really nice. My skin looks like skin. It doesn't feel overly luminous. It just looks like natural, healthy skin. The color is a little dark for me, so I feel like, I definitely have a face darker than my neck. That's something I struggle with. I buy a lot of foundations online, normally really late at night. So my shade matching isn't always the best, but the NYX Born to Glow Radiant Concealer, and I have the shade Alabaster. Since this color is lighter than the foundation, I'm kind of using this in the center point of my face to create more kind of harmony between the tone of my face and my neck. BK Beauty times Angie Hot and Flashy. This is the 8506 concealer brush. On the areas like my chin, which I blended out first, it looks really, really nice. Looking in my mirror from afar, it looks really, really good. And I don't know how it looks on camera, so I will see when I'm editing it. And when I look at my skin in the magnifying mirror, I can see the concealer sitting on top of the skin on areas I let it set a little bit longer. So like my left eye and my forehead, I can see it sitting on the skin a little bit more. I'm gonna use my beauty sponge just to blend it out. Milk Makeup Hydra Grip Primer for eyes and concealer. I'm gonna let this set up while I do the powder so that way when we apply the shadow on top, it will be set. Innisfree No-Sebum Mineral Powder. I ordered this a while ago off Amazon because it was one of the Amazon bestsellers. Only other thing I've tried from the Innisfree brand is their green tea toner, which I really enjoy. It's a very, very fine powder. It's a little messy, so be careful. The way it dispenses is very reminiscent of the Sisley loose powder. It's one of those powders you have to be careful when you're dispensing it because you can get a lot more than you need. So to apply, I'm gonna use another It for Ulta brush. This is the Airbrush Powder Wand number 108. This powder has a very interesting scent to it. It's very minty. It says Innisfree No-Sebum Mineral Powder, natural originated mint. So that explains the mint scent to it. If you're sensitive to mint, maybe skip on this. It's gonna sound very odd, but as I'm applying it, the smell reminds me of a classic kind of men's deodorant, that kind of like shower fresh, slight mintiness that you would find in something like an Old Spice. Kind of smells like that. With powders like this where a lot of product comes out, keep the little puff because that puff will keep the powder from going everywhere when it's in storage in case it gets knocked over. Initial impression on the powder, it looks nice, it feels extremely lightweight. It left a very smooth, silky feeling on the skin, so I like that. That feels very, very nice. Holiday 2021 Clé de Peau Facial Illuminizer. This is in the shade 103 Wonder Full Radiance. So Wonder-Full F-U-L-L Radiance. And if I'm gonna be honest, I bought this because of the packaging. Like, I don't know if you can see or not. It has the cutest like little lambs, cardinals, and flowers. It's very, very pretty. They're very expensive. I believe these are $120 here in Canada, so they're definitely a luxury product. And I find the best way to apply them is with the little brush that comes in the applicator. I am noticing as I wipe the brush through it, there is a overspray. So this side might be a little bit more luminous than the other side. It's very, very pretty. It's very, very subtle. If you're someone who has a warmer skin tone, if you're unfamiliar about undertones, you are in luck because I have a video coming up soon all about undertone and how to find your undertone and kind of what your personal coloring is all about, how to kind of help you choose shades that will best enhance you in your skin tone. If you are someone with a warmer skin tone, this does have a strong kind of blue or cool undertone to it. This might look a little too jarring on the skin. Like I said, it does have more of a cool shift to it, but very nice, doesn't emphasize texture. Is this worth $120? In my opinion, no. Yes, I'm a hypocrite because I bought it. I bought it because of the packaging. Do I recommend doing that? No, but I did, so. I have it, I enjoy it. I'm gonna put this compact on my shelf once it is no longer available because I collect cute packaging. Because L'Oreal True Match Lumi Bronze It Sun-Kissed Bronzer for face and body in number 01 Light. And I'm gonna be using another one of those It for Ulta brushes. This is the number 114 Airbrush Essential Bronzer. And just to kind of create a base for the shadow, I'm going to take whatever's left on the angle side of the brush and run that through my socket. For blush, I have a newer blush, another ridiculously expensive blush. This is one of the new Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate blushes. I have the shade number 06 Ablaze. So I'm gonna be using this little brush. This is the IT Cosmetics CC Double Airbrush Ball Powder Brush. Cute brush. I normally keep this in my travel bag. Cute like little jewel on the bottom. I'm gonna go into the lighter of the two shades. Ooh, a lot of powder kickoff. So the lighter shade, very, very light color payoff. This is a fluffy synthetic powder brush. You're not gonna get a ton of product off of it. Generally, these are the type of brushes I like to use to apply blush because you can build up the color intensity, whereas some technical blush brushes, they're a little bit denser, they're a little bit more compact, so they deposit more color off the bat. So if you're heavy-handed like I can be, you can get too much blush, and blush is really difficult to tone down once it goes overboard. So I'm gonna go back in with my powder brush. I'm just going to buff over that, take down the edges, make sure everything is blended. This is 2 layers of the lighter shade in this blush duo applied all over. I'm gonna take my brush, pick up just a little bit of that darker shade, and I'm gonna pat it right at the front of the cheek and blend back. That has a lot more pigment than the other side. It's also more of a matte to satin finish. It's pretty. It's pretty. That's all I've got. It's pretty. If you think it's worth the price point, go for it. I think it's pretty. Will I buy another one? Probably not. If you like these type of very honest reviews where I say if I think something's worth it or not, let me know in the comments down below. I hope I don't come across as too kind of unimpressed by a lot of products, when in reality I am quite unimpressed by a lot of products, because I've been working in makeup for a long time and a lot of products are very samey. You can find very similar things at all different price points, and for me, I will spend a lot of money on a makeup product or a beauty product if it warrants the price. If it's not that great, I'll find something similar for a lower cost. That's just how I shop as a consumer, so if you agree, maybe that will work for you as well. So for eyes, I have one of the newer Charlotte Tilbury Holiday 2021 eye collections. This is the Celestial Pearl Luxury Palette of Pearls. So here's what the outer packaging looks like. So when I first saw this palette, I thought this shade right here would be more of like a pinky purple. It's more of like a red topper shade, if that makes sense. And I was also quite surprised. So this is the new one, and here is the Hollywood Flawless Eye Filters. I believe this came out either in last holiday or early spring. So before I got this palette, I owned 3 Charlotte Tilbury palettes, and this Star Aura was my personal favorite because it didn't make the kind of shimmery shades in this, didn't enhance my eye texture like some of the other ones do. But when I got this one, I was very intrigued to see they're quite similar. This is a lot more kind of golden and warm compared to this one. This is also more of a shimmery metallic, where this is more of like a creamy baked gelée texture. Really love this, but let's see how this works. So this shade right here is more of a duochrome. Depending on how you look at it, it can go from almost like a warm pink to almost like an old gold color. So those kind of bronzy, vintagey, antique gold colors normally don't look the best on me, so let's see how this does. So generally the way these work is your prime shade is something that goes all over your eyelid. Your enhanced shade is something you can use in the socket to define and kind of build it up. You can use this smoke shade down here to smoke out your outer corner, lash line, whatever you want to do with it. And then your pop shade is almost like a top coat for your eye look. So I'm going to try them out in that method and let's see what happens. I'm going to take a Real Techniques number 308. This is their medium shadow brush. And I'm going to use the side of my brush just to pick up the prime shade. And then I'm just going to apply it all over my lid. Since this color is quite shiny, since this whole palette is shiny, I'm going to only take it up to my socket. I'm not going to put it in the socket of my eye because that will make my hooded eye look more hooded, if that makes sense. With the shadow, without the shadow. It's very pretty. It's almost a translucent base. On the eye, it almost has a really pretty, almost like a lavender pink with a little bit of a warmth to it, and it doesn't look chunky or glittery. It's almost like a wet kind of morning dew glow to it. I don't want to dirty up another brush, so I'm now going to use the point of the same brush, and I'm going to go into the second shade, pick that up just on the point, and I'm going to start by stamping it out on the outer corner of my eye, and then buffing it in slightly into the upper kind of edge of the shadow. So this is definitely more of a yellow gold shade. I'm just gonna use the other side of my brush and I'm gonna press it in. Oh yeah, I don't know if you can see that or not. That's very yellow gold. Okay, so I'm gonna feather this shade into the all over lid shade. A little bit went too far outside this corner, so I'm just gonna use my finger to clean that up. That removed very easily. I'm gonna use my finger in this pop shade. So I'm gonna take my ring finger, pick up the pop shade, and I'm gonna pat this right over the middle of my eyelid. So there is that shade. If you like shimmer and glitter, this is a pretty palette. Does my face tell you I'm underwhelmed? So now I'm gonna use my e.l.f. precision eyeshadow brush. I believe that's what that's called. And I'm gonna take the point of this, go into that brown smoke shade, tap off the excess, and then I'm gonna buff this at my lash line. I'm gonna take a tiny bit of this, tap off the excess, and I'm gonna almost flick this upward at a slight angle from the corner of my eye to the tail of my brow and flick it into the socket. And then I'm gonna take a Morphe M330, no product on this, and I'm just going to use this to blend in my socket. I'm gonna keep it very concentrated in the socket because I don't wanna take the shimmer right up to my eyebrow, because then my eye is just gonna look like a very kind of like hooded mass on my eye, for lack of better words. Okay, so here's one eye with the eye look, here's one without. Let me do the other side and I'll be right back to give you my initial thoughts on this palette. So, positive note, doing the other eye off camera, it only took me about a minute to do my eyeshadow look. So, bright side, it's a very quick, time efficient palette to use, but it's so shimmery. Once again, here we go. It's very shimmery and everything kind of blends together. For me, I'm gonna say this is a pass. Just so I'm not so negative Nancy on this new Charlotte Tilbury product. If you want something like this, and you have something like, say for instance, an all matte palette like this Viseart neutral matte palette, if these are the type of colors you use every single day and you want something to make them more kind of nighttime or special occasion, you could use something like this and use the colors individually or even one or two of them to complement something like this. So you could have something like this, but you're all over kind of base shade, and then use one of the shades from this to pop it. So if you want to use in that matter, I feel like this could be a nice one to add to your collection if you don't already have some shimmery shadows like this. But if you're looking at this as kind of like an all-in-one, do a full eye look, I don't feel like it's worth the price tag. And these I think are either $60 or $66 here in Canada. So for me, it's a pass. So when I placed my order from Nordstrom, they were having a gift with purchase. So I picked up that eyeshadow quad, and then I picked up two things, which are Christmas gifts for other people. But they had a gift with purchase. So your gift with purchase was the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Push-Up Lashes Mascara, and it's a full size. Very nice kind of weighty mascara formula, and it's very, very pretty. This is one I'll probably put on my shelf behind me once I finish with it because I think the packaging is really pretty and I love a pretty packaging. So I'm gonna try this out. So here it is on my left eye versus my right eye without. I like it, really like it. So here it is on the other side, and on this side I tried a different application method. So let's take a look at the brush. So on two sides of the wand, it has like these little plastic teeth, but then you flip to the other side and it's flat. Know which you're supposed to do first, if you're supposed to push them up then brush through, or brush then push, who knows. This side I brushed then pushed and then brushed through again. This side I pushed, brushed, and then kept brushing because I found that made my lashes a little clumpy on this side. But doing it this side where I more so just comb through the lashes and then push the base with the flat side, this is really pretty. It's like a really nice defining mascara. Not the most volume, but mascaras normally take about 2 weeks of being open and being used to really kind of see what they can do. So I'm very curious to see, because initially I really like this. And even though I'm not a huge fan of black mascara, I feel like it looks a little harsh on me. This isn't bad. It's not like a harsh black. It's very nice. It's pretty. I like it. So for my brows, I'm going to keep them simple as always. I'm going to use my e.l.f. Wow Brow in neutral brown. I'm going to give my skin a mist with Fix Plus. So now I'm just using a damp beauty sponge to press over that concealer to see if I can't revive it and smooth it out a little bit. Okay, that definitely helped the concealer. So now we're going to do lips. And I'm gonna play with some lip products that have been lingering in my collection that I just haven't played with. So I'm gonna use my NYX retractable lip liner in the shade Nude Pink. So I ended up using my BK Beauty number 204 just to kind of blur the lip line out. And this is a great trick if you're someone who If you like the look of a softer lip, you want a little bit of volume, you want to create more of like a slightly youthful lip effect, you can kind of slightly blend out the lip line with a flat little brush like this, and that will just help take the edge off so there's no harsh lines around your lips. That can be a nice kind of anti-aging trick as well. But even blending this color out, I'm looking in the mirror behind the camera, and it's definitely, this would not be a nude pinky color for me, but if you like something with a little bit more vibrancy, I don't really wear makeup in my everyday life, so for me, this is not what I would consider a nude. For me, a nude is like my lip color, but better. This is a little too vibrant for that. So to soften this up a little bit, I'm gonna use a L'Oreal Color Riche lipstick, and this shade is called Fairest. Okay, so here is that L'Oreal lipstick over the lip pencil. It's a very pretty color. I really like the color. I think the color is very pretty. For me, it just feels very, very jarring because I've mentioned over and over, I don't really wear lip colors, and the lip colors that I do are just almost like variations of my natural lip color. While I think this is a really, really pretty lip color, for me, it's too much. And I know if you're thinking this color is too much, that's why I don't ever go for anything like a red or a purple or anything like that, because that's just way out of my comfort zone, and you should get out of your comfort zone. But for me, I don't. So we are going to put a gloss on top of this. This is one of the Revlon Super Lustrous Lip Glosses, and this is in the shade 215 Super Natural. Okay, so there is the Revlon lip gloss on, and I don't think I've ever talked about this on my channel before, but these are really, really beautiful lip glosses. When I worked at MAC, this is something I wore way, way too often, and whenever I would have a client come in, they would be like, "What is on your lips?" I would have to be like, "It's Revlon." These are really, really nice. They're drugstore, so they're a lot more of affordable than a high-end gloss, and the texture is really nice. They're not sticky, they're not kind of goopy, they're just a really nice gloss, and I believe they're under $10. I'm gonna do a quick speed round on everything we've tried and my opinions now that I've had them on for a little bit. The Hermes Rosy Lip Perfector, I don't care for it. If you are okay spending almost $100 on a lip balm that has a patchy color payoff and isn't the most hydrating, you might enjoy this. NYX Born to Glow Foundation, absolutely love this. I love how this looks on the skin. I need to find a color that is a better match for me, but this is a beautiful, beautiful foundation. The NYX Born to Glow Concealer, on the other hand, it was pretty when it first went on, but I'm finding as it's drying down, it definitely looks more like it's just sitting on top of the skin. Even though I like the foundation, I would say the concealer is a skip. Free No-Sebum Mineral Powder with Natural Originated Mint. Very nice. It reminds me a lot of the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores Loose Powder. It gives you a very nice smoothing effect to the skin. That one does not have a fragrance. This does have a minty fragrance. However, I think this is $9 on Amazon, and then the IT Cosmetic is either $40 or $50 at Sephora. So if you don't want to spend that much, but you want a nice smoothing mattifying powder, you might like this. Up next, we have the Clé de Peau Luminizing Face Enhancer in number 103 Wonderful Radiance. This is limited edition for their holiday collection. It does have a more kind of glittery, shimmery overspray. Once you break through that, it's more of a soft, radiant highlight. It is cool-based pinky white highlight. So if your skin tone is much darker than mine, or you have a warmer, more yellow golden undertone than I do, you might find this looks a little jarring on the skin. I think it's beautiful. I will 100% admit I bought this for the packaging because I thought it was cute. Is it worth $120? In my opinion, no, but it's cute. I have it. I love it. Keeping it. Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate Blush Duo in the shade 06 Aflame. It's nice. Is it worth the $100 plus price tag? In my opinion, no. Does it emphasize skin texture? No. If you use a denser brush, you can get more color payoff. The darker side definitely has a lot more color payoff than the lighter side. It's really nice. For me though, in my opinion, it does not do anything super incredible to warrant the price tag. If you're someone who loves luxury beauty, you like to collect nice things, you might really enjoy this. But if you're on a budget or you don't want to spend a ton of money on a product, I feel like you could skip this. The Charlotte Tilbury Celestial Pearl Luxury Palette of Pearls looks like this. I'm disappointed. Online, it looked really beautiful. It looked a lot more neutral purpley than it does in real life. So what gets me with this palette is your enhanced shade on the top right, and then your pop shade on the bottom left. They are very kind of yellow gold, which for some people they might work really well. For me, I just find they don't look the best on my skin tone. They kind of wear me versus me wearing the shadow, and it's a very glittery palette. Even the darker brown, the smoke shade, it is more of a metallic finish where the other ones are more shimmery. This is a palette that I feel like would do really well in addition to another palette. Like the example I used was the Viseart Neutral Matte. As a standalone, I do not feel like it's worth the price. Just my opinion. That is going to conclude our video today. Thank you all so much for spending your time with me. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and share it with a friend that you think might enjoy it. Let me know in the comments down below, what are your thoughts on these products? Is there anything that you saw in this video that you've tried that you have different opinions than I do? Is there anything that you saw in action that you want to try out for yourself? Or do you just think I'm crazy for spending money like this on makeup? Let me know any and all of it in the comments down below. And also, if there is any type of videos you would like to see me create, let me know, because I want to make sure I'm giving you all content that you want. So thank you all so much for taking some time out of your day to spend it with me, and I hope you have a great rest of the day wherever it is you are in the world. Take care, and I will see you later. Bye, y'all.